On Thursday, Israel launched a devastating preemptive strike against the nation of Iran, which is throwing the entire region into even more chaos. Strike against Iran's nuclear facilities killed the commander of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard and his military chief of staff, as well as 2 nuclear scientists and at least a dozen civilians. Somewhere around 20 people were killed, as far as I know, according to Iranian state media. Now, following these strikes, of course, Secretary of State Marco Rubio put out a statement saying, whoa, 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 we didn't have anything to do with this. Okay, the Israeli attacks were unilateral. And Iran, you should not retaliate against U.S. interests or personnel. Immediately came out with that. However, of course, Trump had to open his fat frickin' mouth and threaten to do more brutal strikes against the Islamic country. Quote, this is on Truth Social. I told them it would be much worse than anything they know, anticipated, or were told. That the United States makes the best and most lethal military equipment anywhere in the world, by far. And that Israel has a lot of it, with much more to come. Oh, God. Certain Iranian hardliners spoke bravely, but they didn't know what was about to happen. They are all dead now, and it will only get worse. Jesus Christ. No, he keeps going too. In a follow-up post, he wrote, 2 months ago, I gave Iran a 60-day ultimatum to make a deal. They should have done it. Today is day 61. I told them what to do, but they just couldn't get there. Now they have perhaps a second chance. So here is Donald Trump immediately undercutting his own Secretary of State and saying, oh, yeah, no, we were totally involved here. Yes, we're so involved. We were giving them weapons. And in fact, we're going to give them more. Oh, God. Look, do you think that anybody is going to believe now that we had nothing to do with this strike when you've got President Dipshit out there saying, yes, we totally gave Iran these weapons. We'll give them more. You didn't do what we wanted, so guess what? They're going to use those weapons against you. Ha, ha, ha. Not only that, but you have Israeli forces now saying that the U.S. supported the strikes all along. Because, again, there was this whole thing about, oh, no, Trump was urging caution. And he's saying, don't do that. We're so close to a deal. Don't do any unilateral strikes or anything. Now, turns out he was in favor of doing these strikes all along. Of course. And in fact, according to Axios, the U.S. supported the strikes and only pretended to oppose them to keep Iran from suspecting an attack. During Monday's call with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Trump did not try to delay the strikes at all. Netanyahu's aides told reporters that so Israel could maintain the element of surprise. Oh, and we're off to the races, everybody. Jesus. Now, Iran is responding. I believe they have already sent drones to attack Israel. And look, based on whatever response, if it escalates, things could spiral out of control very, very quickly, which leads to a disastrous war in the area. And of course, if that happens, it's almost a guarantee, a foregone conclusion that the United States is going to end up getting involved. We already are involved. If there is open warfare between Iran and Israel, that is going to devolve very quickly, very, very quickly. Okay, not good at all. And it just makes me remember that it was Donald Trump that threw away the Iran deal that was made during the Obama administration, which could have avoided all of this. Okay? Simple as that. And that's not to say that Iran is completely blameless in all of this. The negotiations, again, are ongoing with the Trump administration, even as the International Atomic Energy Agency's Board of Governors declared that Iran was in breach of its non-proliferation obligations for the first time in almost 20 years. So that's not good, but at the same time, nobody wants a war, except for, I guess, Netanyahu, Israeli hardliners, Iranian hardliners, and U.S. hardliners, like, Lindsey Graham, who couldn't wait to do a war with Iran. So all the warmongers right now in our government, or all of our collective governments are salivating at this. They can't wait. All the most extreme people on all these sides, they want a conflict, which again is going to be an absolute disaster for everyone involved. That said, on Friday, Trump once again took to Truth Social. He said this, quote, "There has already been great death and destruction, but there's still time to make the slaughter, with the next already planned and attacks being even more brutal, come to an end. Iran must make a deal before there is nothing left." In an interview, by the way, with ABC News Friday morning, Trump then called the strikes excellent and promised there will be more to come. "They got hit hard, very hard. They got hit about as hard as you're going to get hit, and there's more to come. A lot more." Look, I don't know what's going to happen here, okay? But it's not looking good. You've got Russia now out there saying that, you know what, full-scale war is definitely possible. Oh, yes. And, of course, they would be on the side of Iran. That happens, disaster. Especially for someone who campaigned on ending wars. If anybody actually believed that one. "Oh, I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop the wars," he said during his campaign. Really? Like the ones in Ukraine and Gaza? How's that working out for you? Oh, right. It turns out both of those wars are still ongoing and have seen major escalations, while Trump himself has made promises to invade and take over the Panama Canal, Greenland, and even Canada. Come on, man. Anti-war my ass. Look, it is getting harder and harder to imagine that we're going to be even around for the next 4 years, as Donald Trump has only been in power for what? Not even a full 6 months, and everything has already fallen to shit. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.